Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year. Could it be a Happy New Year for Liverpool with back-to-back titles, or could it be a Happy New Year for Manchester United as they're breathing down Liverpool's necks? Who's going to come out on top with these New Year's Day fixtures? We'll take a little look at it next. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction show today. Particular Matchday, what is it, 17 out in the Premiership, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, put out those fireworks, and of course bang your subscribe button and get your bang up today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Premier League related, football related, on the bloody road. We're outside, we're on the bloody road in the thick ass rain, in the torrential rain, in South Carolina, on the way home on New Year's Eve, folks. We're spending New Year's Eve in the bloody car. But it doesn't matter. We'll be all right. I want to get the picks out there for you guys, so make sure you get your picks in nice and early for that. But before we get into all that, and of course before we get into that meaty Premier League leaderboard, I want to big shout out to the 25 patrons. That's right. Goodness gracious me, we made it, folks. Blue Orbit came over the line, saved the bloody day. We'll give the latest member of the Patreon gang. So a big shout out to him. Big shout out to the D-Man, of course, who became recent patrons quite over the past couple of days. So they completed the goal, and two massive goals we've completed in the past 6 weeks. Gone over 18,000 subscribers, and of course the 25 patrons. So into 2021 now, some more goals. We're going to try and get over 25,000 subscribers and maybe even 50 patrons. But that's a story for another year. We'll talk about that next year. But until then, though, let's get into it deep and take a look at the picks from last time around, of course. And just like the previous couple of videos, I'm going to bring you back up to date next time. We've got, of course, the FA Cup next week. So we'll have a bit of time in between all that for me to play catch up and bring you back up to date with what we've missed, or what I've missed from your picks last time around. So don't worry, we'll bring you back up to date. So be sure to keep all your predictions coming in. Before you know it, we'll be back to normal next time around. So let's get into it. Of course, take a look at these games. Palace against Leicester. That ended up as a 2-1 win for. No, that was my pick actually. Ended up all square in the end. 2-1 win was my score. My picks on the left, the real deals on the right. Harvey Barnes with an equaliser for Leicester to keep themselves in the top 4 race. With Zaha keeping Hodgson in a job perhaps. On that one, so yeah, I probably think Palace happy at the two sides. Chelsea against Villa also ended up all square. Oliver Giroud on the score sheet with El Ghazi on the score sheet for Aston Villa. As Chelsea start to cause a bit of a panic stations for them. Those games took place on the 28th of December. There was one postponed, at least one of these anyway, on this match day. That was Everton against Manchester City. Did not go ahead. I would have went with a 2-2 draw, but we'll have to wait and see when those games come around. Of course, Arsenal now back-to-back wins for them. I think on the 29th of December, picking up a win against Brighton. Alexander Lacazette on the score sheet with a 1-0 win for them. Actually went with a draw on this one, so not too great. Ben Mee, though, came to the rescue, of course. Burnley was the 1-0 win for them. Actually went with a 2-1 win myself. Not too shabby for the Freakazoids in the bloody end, so good result for them. Meanwhile, Southampton against West Ham ended up all square 0-0. Actually went with a 2-1 win for the Hammers. Unfortunately not. So Allardyce came crashing back down to earth at the Hawthorns in a 5-0 dropping by Leeds. The Bielsa football showing Allardyce the way forward with his fantasy football. And the last minute the goal scorers on the day there, Roman Sawyers with a big fat OG, Alioski, Harrison, Rodrigo and Rafinha on the score sheet as Leeds put in a really good performance there to show the world what they're all about. Kicking on forward, Manchester United against Wolves, lastminute.com winner for Rashford, giving United the share of the spoils, well, not share of the spoils, giving them all 3 points to move them second in the table, of course. Spurs game against Fulham was postponed, and of course another surprise result there, Liverpool drawing with Newcastle. Actually went with a 3-1 win. Actually just got 2 out of 8, which is pretty shitty. I'm in the dark here, I'm on the road, I'm in the rain, so hopefully you can still see me. I'm here, I'm in the real life, I'm in the flesh. Luna's in the back there somewhere. But anyway, let's kick it off forward. Let's take a look at the table as it stands. It's Liverpool lead the charge with the game in hand, in fact, over Manchester. Liverpool lead the charge. Played 1 game more, sorry. Manchester United have the game in hand in second to win that, and they could go top, but of course the goal difference favours Liverpool at the moment. Leicester City are in third, Everton in fourth, again game in hand as well with the teams above them. Villa up to fifth, Chelsea down to sixth, Arsenal making the ground now into 13th spot, Sheffield United, West Brom and Fulham going down, Burnley are on the charge, looking safe right now. Kick it off further, let's take a look at the next round matches. Again, we haven't got your picks in. I am here, but of course be sure to get your picks in for these next round matches. Hopefully we'll be back with your scores and of course your previous scores from the past couple of days and next time around. So anyway, let's get into it now. Everton up against West Ham, but apparently it's a 2-0 win. But we'll talk about it anyway. I'm jumping the gun here because we're in the middle of nowhere and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. But anyway, heading into this, of course, Everton taking on West Ham. In the last 6, he's 3 wins to Everton, 2 wins to West Ham, and 1 draw. Last time out, Goodison was back in the Carabao Cup. Earlier in this season was a 4-1 win for Everton. Calvert-Lewin with a hat-trick with Carlson as well. Snodgrass giving West Ham 1 goal, but unfortunately too little too late. Last time played in the Premier League, that was back in October 2019. It was a 2-0 win for Everton as well. Of course, heading into this though, Everton are actually undefeated in 25 of the last 28 matches against West Ham in all competitions. They've also won the last 4 matches in the Premier League. They're looking good right now once again after their sort of mid-season blip. They started good, had a dip, back in good form. Just 1 defeat the past 6 for them, losing to Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. Meanwhile, the Hammers just 1 win the past 6 for them, beating Leeds 2-1 at Ellen Road. Look at the situation out in the league. Of course, Hammers are down into 10th now, but a win for them, they could go as high as 5th. Everton are actually in 4th spot at the moment, but a win for them, they could go back into 2nd spot in the table. We know what I've got. I'm going with the 2-0 win. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early. Next up, we have Manchester United on, of course, Aston Villa. Let's take a close look at this one then, shall we? Of course, they played each other in the last 6 seasons. 4 wins for United, 1 win for Villa, and 1 draw. Of course, last time out at Old Trafford was a 2-2 draw back in December 2019. Goals, it was a 2-2 draw. Yeah, Tom Heaton with a big for OG, Victor Lindelof also giving United some hope. Jack Grealish and Tyrone Mings level the scoring in a 2-2 draw. Heading into this, United actually defeated in the last 9 matches in the Premier League. Also scored at least 2 goals in 6 of the last 7 home matches against Villa in all comps. They come into this though, Manchester United looking very, very good in all competitions, winning 4 out of the past 6 games. A couple of draws against Manchester City and of course Leicester, and amongst 4 wins. Meanwhile, Villa also 3 wins in the past 5 games. The other 2 have been draws, so they're also undefeated and they're looking very good right now, Villa at the moment. Of course, the situation at the table sees Villa in 5th, United in 2nd, a win for Villa. Can see them jump from 5th up to potentially into 3rd, whereas a win for United could see them go top of the pops in the end. I've gone with a win on this one for United, 3-1 in the end. If you still see me, if you still hear me, then you'll know it's a 3-1 for United. I could go further. We have Spurs up against Leeds. Let's take a close look at this one then. If it goes ahead, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, play each other in the last 6. Sees 3 for Tottenham, 1 for Leeds, and 2 draws. Of course, last time out in Tottenham, I was in the FA Cup back in 2010. That was probably at White Hart Lane. In fact, it was White Hart Lane. It was a 2-2 draw. Crouchy and Pavlyuchenko on the score sheet. Jermaine Beckford with a couple of goals. I think I was in the airport going to the Falklands for this game. I think I remember that one. Of course, last time out in the Premier League, though, was back in 2003. It was a 2-1 win for Spurs. Mauricio Taricchio and Federico Canute on the score sheet. Alan Smith getting the 1 goal for Leeds, of course, in the Premier League way back when. Spurs have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 home matches against Leeds in all competitions. They come into this though, Spurs, just 1 win past 5. That 1 win was against Stoke in the Carabao Cup. They're in the semi-finals now, up against Brentford. Meanwhile, 3 wins in the past 4 games for Leeds. Their only hiccup was against Manchester United in a 6-2 drubbing, of course. Leeds are actually in 11th spot at the moment, and a win for them. They could actually go above Spurs, up to as high as maybe 6th in the table, whereas Spurs coming to 7th. A win for them, they could go as high as 3rd in the Bloody League. I've gone though with a 2-0 for Spurs at home. 2 points in the bag, 3 points in the bag, 2 goals. That's how we like them. Crystal Palace taking on Sheffield United, of course, relegation follow. Both of these 2 are in that discussion, I think. The last 6 sees 2 wins for Palace, 4 wins for Sheffield United, and no draws. Last time out in Palace was a 1-0 win for Sheffield United back in February 2020. Vincenzo Griatti with a big for OG, giving Sheffield United 3 points on the road. Of course, at Crystal Palace. Palace have actually failed to win the last 5 matches in the Premier League. Whereas Sheffield United have actually lost 10 of the last 11 matches as well. Yet to get a win so far. They seem to be doomed. 5 defeats in the past 6. Their only positive was a draw against Brighton on the road. Meanwhile, in the past 5 games, no wins for Palace as well. The last win was against West Brom back in the month of December, early doors. Quick look at the table as it stands. Of course, Sheffield United route to the table, just 2 points this season. The win for them, they'll put them up to 5 points, maybe closing in on West Brom. Meanwhile, Palace are actually in that relegation discussion at the moment. They're into 15th at the moment, but a win for them, they could get themselves back out of it and climb up the table up to as high as 12th in the table. I've gone with Palace on this one, 1-0, to continue a shitty season for Sheffield United. Next up, we have Brighton Albion taking on, of course, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's take a closer look at this one then, shall we? Of course, they played each other in the last 6. He's 3 wins for Brighton, nothing for Wolves, and 3 draws. Last time out at the Amex was a 2-2 draw. Of course, Neil Maupay on squishy Davy Proper as well. Diego Jota got a couple of goals and a 2-2 draw back in the 8th of December last year. Of course, heading into this, Brighton have actually failed to win their last 12 matches at home. They've also drawn the last 3 matches against Wolves in all competitions, and they're coming into this Brighton just one defeat the past 4. That one defeat was against Arsenal, of course, last time around. And on the flip side, just one win the past 6 for Wolves. That was against Chelsea, of course, midway through the month of December. A quick look at the situation out in the table. What do we have in the table? Of course, Wolves go into this in 12th spot at the moment. Bit of win for them. They could actually go as high as 10th, whereas Brighton come into in 17th spot, just above the drop zone. Bit of win for them. They could go as high as 16th. That's above Burnley in the process. I've gone with another draw, another unbeaten run against Wolves for Brighton. Next up we have the Baggies up against, of course, Arsenal, who have turned the corner at the moment. Can Allardyce turn his side around after that drubbing last time around against Leeds? They played each other in the last 62 for the West Brom, 3 for Arsenal and 1 draw. Last time out at the Hawthorns was a draw back in December 2017. Jay Rodriguez from the penalty spot, James McLean given a big fat OG for Arsenal. West Brom have actually conceded 3 goals in the last 3 home matches. They also lost the last 3 at home as well. They come into this though, the Baggies, without a win in 6 or more than that. 2 defeats the past 4 though. Arsenal back-to-back wins, picking up wins against Chelsea, picking up a win against Brighton. So they've turned the corner. Of course, they sit in 13th spot at the moment in the table. West Brom in 19th. A win for the Baggies will potentially leapfrog above Fulham depending on goal difference. They'll need a big of a huge goal swing on that. Arsenal coming to this in 13th. A win for them. They could actually go as high as 10th in the table. I've gone with on this one 2-1 win for Arsenal. My heart says Allardyce. My head says Arteta. 2-1 win for Arsenal. Next up we have them 6-finger freakazoids taking on, of course, Fulham. Let's take a close look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played in the last 63 for Burnley, 2 for Fulham and 1 draw. Last time out at Turdmore, it was a 2-1 win for Burnley. Jeff Hendrick and Dennis Adori on the score sheet for Burnley back in 2019. Andre Schuler on the score sheet for Fulham last time around. Fulham have actually drawn their last 4 matches in the Premier League, and they go into this unbeaten the last 4. Meanwhile, Burnley just 1 defeat the past 6. Their 1 defeat was against Leeds. Besides that, 3 wins the last 5 for them. Not too shabby for Burnley as they tried to make a climb up the table. Fulham are in the drop zone at the moment, but with them they could actually lead from Brighton. Meanwhile, Burnley come in 16th spot, and with them they could actually go as high as 14th, as above Newcastle in the end. I've gone with the Freaks on this one with a 2-0 win in the end to put that 3 points in the bag and move on. Kick it off forward, we have the Geordies up against, of course, former Premier League winners Leicester City. Of course, they played each other in the last 6. These 2 wins for the Geordies, 3 for Leicester and 1 draw. Last time out at the King Power, in fact it was a 5-0 win, but they're playing at St James's Park. Last time out though was a 3-0 win for Leicester on this one. Don't know if the goal scores for me to hand. Heading into this, of course, Leicester just 1 defeat the past 6. That was against Everton. Meanwhile, 1 win the past 6 for the Geordies. That was against West Brom all the way back at the midway through the month of December. Quick look at the situation out on the table. Of course, the Geordies are in 14th spot. Better win for them. They could go as high as 12th. Leicester coming in third, and for them they could actually go second in the table once again. I've gone with the 2-1 win for Leicester on this one. 3 points in the bag, and maybe just maybe climb into the top 2 once again. It's the final 2 though. We have Chelsea up against Manchester City. This one's a bit fruity, of course. Let's take a close look at this one then, shall we? Of course, they played each other in the last 6. These 2 wins for Chelsea, 4 for City, and no draws. Last time out at Stamford Bridge was a 2-1 win for Chelsea. That was back in June in lockdown. Christian Pulisic and Willian on the score sheet. Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. Fernandinho got himself sent off to give a huge swing for Chelsea. Heading into the City, have actually clean sheet in 5 of the last 6 matches in the Premier League. Chelsea are actually undefeated in the last 7 as well. City also undefeated in the last 6 in the Premier League as well. Coming into this though, 3 wins on the spin for Manchester City. Meanwhile, Chelsea just 1 win the past 6. That one was against West Ham at home. Look at the situation out in the table. Of course, City are actually in 8th. With them, they could actually go as high as 3rd in the table. Of course, the same could be said for Chelsea. Win for them from 6th, they could go as high as 3rd. I've gone with a 3-2 win for City on this one. 5-goal thriller. Let's hope for that, and hopefully a bit of a Bobby Dazzler for us on the 3rd of Jan. And finally, it'll be on the 4th of Jan. It'll be Southampton up against Liverpool. Of course, let's take a close look at this one then, shall we? Of course, they played each other in the last 6. See 6 wins out of 6 for Liverpool, including a 2-1 win last round at St Mary's. Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino on the score sheet for Liverpool. Danny Ings, of course, ex-Liverpool man, scoring against his old club at too late for them. That was back in August 2019. Liverpool have actually drawn 5 of the last 6 matches away from home in the Premier League. Where Southampton have actually kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 matches at home. Southampton also failing to win or failing to score in the last 3, so they're looking to maybe a bit of a change of fortune for them. Just without a win in 4 for them. Just 2 wins past 6 for Liverpool, of course, winning against Spurs and also smashing Crystal Palace. But after that, drawing against West Brom, also drawing against the Geordies. Of course, Southampton were flying high, and they could actually get themselves back flying high with a win against Liverpool. And if they do become victorious, they could get into the Champions League spots once again up to size 3rd. Liverpool are actually 1st at the moment, and they should remain 1st with a draw or more. For me, though, I've gone with Firmino. Firmino may be a part of it, but 3-1 for Liverpool in the end to put 3 points in the bag and keep the dream alive for a back-to-back titles. If I'm right, which I bloody well hope so. Of course, Liverpool will remain top of the pops, of course, and Manchester United will also keep up the heat as well, and also pretty much as you were at the foot of the table. But that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for the prediction league. We'll have a live action prediction league coming at you, of course, very soon with the updated tables and all that kind of stuff. But until then, be sure to give the video some love and smash that thumbs up, smash the subscribe. Of course, I am here on a bloody car in the traffic in South Carolina on our way home, and we'll be back very soon. In fact, about 24 hours. So hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Again, we'll have a watch along for Rovers in the Championship. If you're bored on a Saturday, come say hello for that bad boy. But until then, though, be sure to give the video some love and smash that thumbs up, smash the subscribe, of course, if you are new, and also check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. I'm on all those kind of platforms. And again, you want to support the channel in another way, I am still looking for patrons. We have got 25. It's a big shout out to Blue Orbit and of course the D-Man, becoming the latest members of the Patreon gang quite recently. But if you want to become the latest member in 2021, check out that link down below, patreon.com/overseas. But that's it. I'm in the dark, but are Manchester United or Liverpool in the dark? We'll take a little look at those when we come back around, of course, into 2021. Happy New Year. I'll see you all on the other side.